Hey, what's up, guys? It's time to do a little bit more experimenting here. So we're going to go take a look again at NP3 and at one of these features that we probably don't see so much, actually. So let's go take a look right away at it. I'm going to open up the options and rules here, and we'll just take a look really quick and see what we've got. There's this thing called the yellow highlight delay. So using this yellow highlight delay, it's possible for you to have a delay between batters, I believe. Let's go take a look and see what happens when we play around with this. I'm actually going to change over here to this view, and we'll move this up a little bit so you can see what we're talking about. I have the 1982 season loaded. We're not going to play through a whole lot. We're just going to mess around and see what happens. We'll save this over as 2.5 seconds. We won't save it as default. We're going to have the Athletics play against the Mariners, and we'll just go ahead and start the game. So let's see what happens here. We'll roll the dice ourselves and see what happens when we put that delay on. The first roll is an 11, and well, there's not much of a delay there. The next roll is a 53, and boy, Henderson probably hitting a home run here, 53, so it's a double for him. And there you go. You can see that delay. So it shows you what the result was on Henderson's card before it moves us automatically to Murphy's. So let's see it again. We'll roll the dice with Dwayne Murphy. It's a 46 for a 13. There's paused right there for a second, and then it goes automatically to Myers' card. So that's what that is all about. Now, we can make that slower or faster. I like to move to the next batter manually. That's the way that I prefer to play, especially when I'm broadcasting this so I can see what happens. So Dan Meyer comes up next, right? And we'll just roll the dice and do whatever, 61 for 32, fly ball to right field, and then this button pops up for next card. So I can sit here and I can talk about this like for hours. I can say, let's talk about the sort of player Dan Meyer was. I can talk about like, should we have tried to have Ricky Henderson steal third? Well, you can't do it through the rules of this game, right? I could stop here and talk for like 20 minutes if I wanted to before I move over to the next card, which is pretty cool. Now, there's another option here, manual click, which I think, yes, manual click will delay this and makes it so that you have to click like no matter what, right? But theoretically, if you're playing this game, you can put this delay on. So let's say that we're not playing with the dice, right? We'll go back over here to this view. I'm going to move this down a little bit further. There we go. I haven't shown you a lot about what Skeetersoft is like when you use the computer roll dice feature, but I'll show you what happens here, right? So for Tony Aramis, he rolls and he gets a 65 for a 35. It's a foul out to the third baseman, and that ends the inning, right? The reason why you want the delay on is so you can see what happened, right? You can always go back here and see, oh, well, the roll was a 66 and a 5, 65 for a 35, and it was a foul out to the left side, and there was no little league roll, right? If we take that off, if we have no delay and no move to the next batter manually, that's where you can play the game like it's nobody's business. So Cruz rolls a 34 for a 44, and there's a little E-roll, and it goes like this, and boom, he's gone. Right? Fly ball to center field, there's one away. Castillo, well, we've got to roll this again, is double columns and ends up hitting a double in the end. There's a double for Castillo, boom. And Bruce Bochy comes up, Bruce Bochy, and I'm not sure what happened. He walked. That's what it is. You have to look back here, and you're like, oh, this is where it tells me what's going on. That's the reason why you would want to potentially put the delay on, right? Now, if we do this sort of the way I like to do it, and you roll the dice, it will tell you to click the dice roll number 52, the 52. If I try to click on 35 instead, it will say manual click error. Click on the corresponding dice result number 52 on the player's card. You have to know how Skeetersoft is played. So if you're playing this the first time, you have it set up like this, and you're like, what is it telling me to do? This is what it's telling you to do. It's telling you to go over there and click on the 52. And then it will tell you it was a 27, and Bannister's grade is lowered, and that was a double play that he hit into. The double play shows up here at the bottom, so double play, one runner to third, and it goes third to second, second to first, right? That's the way that the game is sort of set up to be played. You don't have to do it. You can take away the manual click if you want, but that's the way that I prefer to do it. Personally, I really, really prefer to play with there we go, to play with that not on. Now, if I set it up this way, you can make it so that if we go back to the NP3 rule, I'll move this up again so you can see the beautiful game screen. This option that we have on is manual click, right? And what that means is that it's not going to ask me to input the dice roll. Instead, it's going to ask me to roll. So I roll 54, and then I go click on 54. So fly ball to right. Now I can click anywhere I want because I'm rolling my own dice. So I roll a 44, I say no, it was a 66, and it will count as a 66, of course, because the game doesn't know that I'm rolling my own dice. This is the reason why I prefer to have manual click off and just have this option on, right? And so we roll the dice ourselves, and we input the dice roll by ourselves, 46 for 32, and let the computer figure this out. I don't want to go click again, right? I just want the computer to figure it out, tell me the result, and then I can tell you what's going on. So basically, that's the way that this happens. Athletics have a 1-0 lead because I cheated and gave them a home run, right? But you can probably see why I prefer this method to the these other options that are available with the yellow highlight. However, if you're playing this game by yourself, if you go and you buy Skeetersoft NPIII and you're like, I'm not going to show anybody what I'm doing, you want to save a lot of time, yeah, man, have the computer do everything yourself. I did a whole replay years ago of the 1900 season doing it the fast way. And I'm telling you, if you really get going, you can play a game in 5 minutes or less. Right? Is it fun? Not really, but does it get the job done? Yeah. I mean, if you don't mind, sure. Yeah, you can get all sorts of stuff done if you allow yourself to not pay attention to what you're doing. So anyway, it's just like anything else in life, right? If you don't pay any attention to what's going on, you can make all sorts of funny and crazy and weird things happen, and it happens really fast. And then next thing you know, you're in some kind of trouble. You don't even know what just happened. So there you have it. Hope you enjoyed this one. I'll talk with you again tomorrow. Bye.